Very good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for your time and attention today. Today, I'll be walking you through with some insights around the new blueprint for app growth. I'm representing TikTok. I head up the growth partnerships in TikTok, where we work with various brands, clients, and apps, of course, to drive growth to their app installs and app events. So before I start, just a quick show of hand. How many of you guys have TikTok app installed on your phone? Oh, okay, nice, thank you. I see quite a lot of hands raised. By the end of the session, hopefully all of you will have TikTok app installed because trust me, it's a very, very engaging app, and that is why we have such a massive audience across multiple markets globally. So without further ado, I'll start with a quick objective of today's session. I think in TikTok, we like to start with the end in mind. We are problem solvers that want to help marketeers to solve their biggest problems in the marketing industry. And some of the most commonly asked questions that we get from marketing teams, CMOs, are basically these three questions. So first, how can we measure what truly matters in a privacy-first and fragmented world? How do we find and be present in the place where our users are now? And how do we keep ourselves updated with that? What kind of user growth can we expect from app marketing? I think these are some of the common questions that we also talk and touch upon in the earlier session as well. And today, hopefully, I can answer some of these questions for you. So we will start with the segment or the group that matter the most in this case, which is our consumers. So nowadays, consumers are highly digital. They spend a lot of time always connected through their mobile phones, laptops, everything are digital. And of course, not surprising that we are at an all-time high level of digital and mobile penetration this year. And when we go deeper, where are they in their digital journey? They are spending a lot of time on, of course, TV, other places, but the biggest chunk of it actually comes from mobile. So if you go out in Singapore, you'll see everyone is glued on their phone screen. Everyone's using different apps. So not surprising again, 90% of the mobile time spent is actually spent on apps. And with all of this overstimulation of content, people spending hours and hours glued to their phone screen, how do we break through and get their attention? We did a quick research around this topic, and what we saw is that what people are looking for is really the content that resonates with them, something that connects with them emotionally. They seek entertainment, genuine content, and credibility. So with this, this is really where TikTok comes in. We pride ourselves with our massive number of different subcultures and communities. We are powered by the different people, the unique individuals that create content and consume content. And at the heart of it is really our For You feed or our homepage. This is a personalized homepage. If you have not seen it or experienced it, I highly recommend you to try. It's a very, very unique algorithm that we have that has managed to capture attention across the world. We have 100+ minutes daily time spent on average in Southeast Asia and more in some markets. This is just because of this particular For You feed or personalized homepage. And if I can walk you through a bit of what the For You feed looks like, I think this is a big question that we always get, like how do we get viral? How do we get featured in the For You page, right? So when a user first enters the app, they will usually get served multiple content from various verticals or industry or categories, right? And with each interaction that the user does, be it are they watching or are they skipping, or are there engagement? So based on this, the algorithm will actually learn what the user like, what they might like based on our fast data points. And the machine learning algorithm will then start serving content that's highly personalized to that user. So for example, I started planning my trip 2 weeks ago. And I started looking through some content, and I look at Kyoto-related content. Then after that, I start getting a few recommendations around the area, food recommendations, etc. And then more and more, as the algorithm know and learn about you even more, it will create something that's really, really personalized and something that's exactly what the user is looking for. So that is why our For You feed has been doing its amazing job to build community, connect people with the right content. And today we hope you can also leverage on this For You feed to drive your app growth to the right audience. And if you are still not convinced, we have some numbers to back it up. So across Southeast Asia, we have a really strong presence with ranging from 66% internet user penetration to almost 99% in Thailand. And this number is still growing year over year. We have seen double-digit growth since 2023 to 2025, and the number is still increasing. Similar trends are also observed across different markets globally. So if you're interested, do reach out to any of us and we can share a bit more about the user penetration in multiple markets. So what makes TikTok unique for advertisers like you guys, right? First is, of course, we have the discovery platform. We create the opportunity for users to discover new products and new content. And our users love this. They love trying something new. They're very open-minded to try new apps or new experience. We have seen this actually translate into actual conversion as well with hashtag TikTok made me buy it that created a buzz and recommendations across different verticals and products. And recently, we also see Dubai chocolate being very, very popular. And a lot of brands, F&B brands out there have started jumping on the bandwagon of creating a premium version of chocolate that with pistachio that is really trending and really sought after by the mass. And beyond that, we've also seen that we are the new search engine for the younger generations, especially for Gen Z, where 50% of Gen Z actually starts searching on TikTok first. Because you can get your search results in just a 30 seconds video and you can see how it looks like, the visual, etc. So how does this translate into the different industries? First, we have on travel, for example. So what we've seen on travel is that there is a massive growth in travel content demand, around 50% year-over-year growth. And what the kind of content that they're looking for is everything from inspiration, so sort of having the trip before the trip, getting excited with like looking through all the different places and inspirations. And of course, travel trends are also massive on the platform, transition to the different destinations or different spots. And couple content is another one of trending content on travel. Well, on finance, we do see decent growth as well at about 47% year over year. This span across more educational content like Finance 101, Money Talk, or something that's a bit more about growth, about going deeper into the industry, looking at personal finance or financial freedom. And also tips and hacks are also very big on the platform. Well, for media and entertainment, we do see that there is a strong rise in media entertainment content at about 100% year over year. And the biggest part of it is really in drama talk, drama series, mini series that's as short as 30 seconds, but span across many, many episodes. And beyond that, our users also still love watching longer longer video or content as well. Something interesting that we found out is that Squid Game actually has a higher watch time on TikTok than on Netflix itself. So there are a lot of demands to also watch like a shorter snippets of your media and entertainment content on the platform and seeing reviews, seeing different teams and different stories. And this is why we have seen many advertisers have turned to TikTok to be their go-to engine for app user growth. We have seen a rise in number of app advertisers, and these are just a couple of success stories that we've brought from different markets. So first is from TM Philippines. They tested their first campaign on TikTok, especially to drive installs and launch of their apps through our app event optimization. And they actually saw almost 3x growth in install, with a pretty significant lift in ad recall, about 16.7% uplift of ad recall, and also an increase in app launch. Moving somewhere closer to home, I guess, Traveloka started their journey with us quite a while back as well. What we've seen is that with the right content and the right objective, the right optimization, they are actually seeing a really, really strong performance with 2x conversion, 2x performance uplift, and a much higher marketing efficiency. So how do we get started? We have a simple 3 steps to share with you guys today. First is to set your business goal and align your optimization strategy with your business goal. And then second, similar to For You feed, we need signals. We need to learn who are the right audience. So data postback will be very important. And third is how do we structure the campaigns and scale. So first, in terms of our objectives. We offer various objectives from driving installs, so especially for newer apps that just launched in a new market. This is where we can drive a massive reach and app install through our cost per install objective. And then as we acquire more and more users, we can expand the users even further and drive that first-time event. For example, with TM earlier, we are driving app launch. So this is where we'll have a combination of CPA and CPI as a key marketing metrics that we will look at. And once we have a strong base of audience, then we will be able to drive even further to cost per action or app retargeting. So next is how do we provide the right signals and the right postback data. There are multiple events that happen within your app. So one way to start is to identify your full in-app journey from registration, even app launch, all the way to conversion. In this example, it's loan dispersal. And then once we map this, we want to make sure that all the events and the must-have events are in place. So we want to give the machine learning algorithm as much data points as we can by posting back all these events from install, launch app, all the way to purchase. And then after that, if this is good to have, is to map your existing event, your postback event, with what's available on our app event optimization replacement. So for example, for loan approval, if this is our end goal, we want to make sure that this is mapped to our purchase in order for our algorithm to be able to better learn about the user journey. And then once we have everything in place, this is where we can map the optimization with our postback event. So install is very straightforward. This is our mobile app install campaign types, while for few content, add to cart, launch app, trial, registration, this is all within the registration app event optimization, and purchase is your final conversion result. So once we have all the setup in place, what's next? Next is really how do we set up the campaign? So At the first stage, when an app usually enters a market, this is where we highly recommend to start by building your install base, especially until you reach at least 300,000 installs. Why 300,000? I'll get to that in a very short while. And then after that, once we have enough user base, this is where we can further continue our app install strategy. But at the same time, we also want to start optimizing towards actual conversion or mid or lower funnel events. And then once we grow even more, this is where we start driving into more lower funnel event. And finally, at 500,000 transactional events, we can start looking into optimizing value, so driving more revenue towards the app. So why 300,000? From our internal data, we saw that with 300,000 installs, there's sufficient data points for the system to learn and stabilize your CPA. This is why we usually highly recommend to at least reach this milestone before you go into the deeper funnel optimization. And once you reach the 500,000, this is where, of course, we will go into engaging and focusing on your higher value user to drive that cross-selling and upselling. So that's a very, very quick overview of how to get started and why TikTok. I think just to summarize, first, we want to meet where the users are. And today, a lot of them are spending 2 hours of their precious 6 hours of free time on TikTok. And next is how important signals and data postback is. And of course, the right attribution with the right events. And last but not least, do check out our life cycle strategy earlier to make sure that you are succeeding in your journey in driving app growth.